Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to Truesight TV. I'm SP Revolution 5, going to be casting solo, at least for now, for you guys. I'm very happy to be here. It's CNB HyperX up against Rebeldes, two of the top South American teams at the moment. If we take a look at the standings in the Joindota League Season 5, I'm probably going to have a little bit of trouble pulling these up. Yeah, and of course I am. Just a moment here. America. It is Division 2.3. CNB is at the top, 10-2, headed to the Division 1-2 playoffs, which means they could be into the MLG Pro Circuit next season. It's very possible if they manage to do it. Rebeldes, well, if they can take a 2-0 off this, they have quite a good chance of making it up here. They're 9-3. They're tied with Isris Gaming. Right now they're staying in Division 2, but there is that one slot to get to those Division 1-2 playoffs, and, well, we may see it come to light. Of course, Team Pineapple having dropped out means they'll be dropping to Division 3 if they even stay in the tournament at all. And Megalodon Gaming and Void Boys, or excuse me, not Void Boys, excuse me. Megalodon and Ints looking at Division 2 to 3 playoffs. But CNB, let's go ahead and jump into our draft right now. We've got IO Tiny picked up right off the bat. The nice duo that are going to just look to be that strong duo. I haven't been able to watch CNB very much lately, so unfortunately I don't have too much info on their drafts, but let me actually see if I can pull up some quick stats here. And of course I forgot to turn off the Steam stuff because I'm too good, obviously. Again guys though, thank you for coming out tonight. Really appreciate it. Let's see, CNB have been playing okay, they did play against Swag and Tiger in SEL, but that doesn't make much. SEL Challenge, they've been playing a bit of Naga, a bit of Spectre, so looking toward that late game focus. Actually, in their past 10 games or so, I haven't seen them pick up a lot of IO Tiny. They did have IO Tiny picked again them 2 days ago in the SA Challenge with Sad Voice picking it up. Actually, Figueroa doesn't count because that was in the SEL. I wish Dota Buff would discount those completely, but no big deal. They look to be doing pretty well recently, to be completely honest, but their opponents, Rebeldes. Let's take a look at them real quick. In terms of stats, as we do see a Nyx Assassin picked up by CNB. They've been playing with these two stand-ins for quite a while. In fact, the Inda's near drafting for them seems to be a very active member of the team right now. They did lose to Isris 5 days ago and are drafting a lot of Tree, a lot of Storm, a bit of Tinker actually, up against Isris. Interestingly enough, they seem to be focused around team fight though, just looking at this. And before they lost to Isris, they were on a winning streak, it looks like. So, should be pretty interesting here. And of course, once again, a big shout out to all of you for coming out.
Disruptor.
Radiant team pick.
Anyways, Disruptor coming out for CNB. I know this is one of the heroes Ned and or VSW really like to play. So it's interesting to see this being given away so quickly. Rebeldes could respond to it with something else, but they already have the Disruptor for themselves on CNB, which is very strong against the IO, but it's going to be banned out here because, well, CNB have it, so they don't have to worry about it being picked against them, which is pretty big. Enigma, though, this is huge team fight. Not only do they have Tidehunter with the Ravage that's up every so often, but when it is up, oh boy, it's going to be big. They also now have the Enigma, so Black Hole's going to be thrown. It's the caster's dream right here. Now all we need is like a Quap. I don't think we're going to see Quap picked up by Rebeldes, but it's a possibility, maybe. We'll see. But their team fight is very strong. However, the silence from CNB could be an issue, and their blink initiators could be an issue as well. This is 3 heroes, Lion, Enigma, and Tide that want to pick up a blink dagger for sure. Whether they're able to do that, well, that's going to be its own question, of course. Puck being banned out by CNB as well, so we'll get rid of that for Rebeldes.
10 seconds.
And keep in mind that Ned did play for Rebeldes some time ago in the Battle of America, so very interesting. He also played for CNB in the past, but that was when with a team that eventually went on to become Pain Gaming, and Ned dropped the Pain tag. And it looks like now he's going to pick back up CNB. He's technically a stand-in at the moment, but whatever. They will have Tinker picked up by CNB once again, so this is looking like a very strong global strat. A little interesting that they're going to put Nyx in the off lane. And Rebeldes are looking for a mid to top off their team fight. Quap would be okay here. Assuming Bristleback is the safe lane farmer, Quap would be okay. But they definitely have a timing window at that point, and Quap doesn't necessarily stomp Tinker in the lane by any means. That's a pretty 50-50 matchup. Now, of course, Tinker can lose this lane to Quap, but it's not going to be the easiest lane to win in the world, of course. Got about a minute and a half of reserve time, if they need to think about it. And I'm actually going to get a quick screenshot ready to send off to the Twitterverse to get the show on the road. And Rebelda is definitely taking their time. Queen of Pain's an option, but they are lacking damage. They are going to pick the Storm Spirit, something I was a little iffy about, to be completely honest, against Disruptor and against Nyx Assassin. Just because of that matchup, and because Storm Spirit is supplying most of their damage, I'm going to go ahead and give the edge over to CNB. Slightly, so... Let me real quick grab a quick pick here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There we go.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Tweet that out real quick, and we'll be right back into the game. Pretty much right on time here. So, and of course I missed the remake. We'll be right back, guys. Hang on tight 1 second. Having some trouble here, but we're good. Local recording. There we go. And we should be back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For those of you on the VOD, it shouldn't have been any break at all, since I had paused the VOD, so our viewers here on the stream could enjoy a bit of good old music. However, it's going to be CNB up against Rebeldes. Have fun, but pause first. Hold up. Let's take a moment and just realize the magnitude of the match we have before us. These teams are in pretty close standing, as I mentioned during the draft. It basically is going to decide who moves on and who stays behind in Division 2. This could mean, in the future, that we have one of these teams in the Pro League and one of them still in Division 2. It doesn't necessarily mean that, but it could. And this is a very big deal for these teams. Let's go ahead and run through some real quick hero introductions after we maybe have a skirmish on the bot lane. Not too sure about this. Ned's going to show his face, followed by VSW. Klotz standing back a bit, hasn't skilled anything up. They do scout out the lane, though, and I think that's their most important bit of information here. They haven't even showed, hey, look, we blocked a camp. They're both carrying one ward, so Rebeldes will need to check both of those in order to be sure whether they blocked the camp or not. But Bristleback, just for the quill spray, the only real damage done this fight. And what a fight it was, Kappa. Of course, I'm SP Revolution 5 for Truesight TV. Let's go ahead and get things underway here with the team introductions. We've got Ned, their stand-in, or regular player at least, on the Nyx Assassin. We've got Suits, who I believe is a stand-in, not 100% sure about that, on the Tinker. He'll be grabbing himself up a Bountheroon. VSW, I believe, yep, will be on the Disruptor. The Wisp will be played by Alamau. I forget which team he was on before this, but yes, he is a very well-known player as well. And last but not least, we have the Tiny. He's a little guy right now, but he'll get a bit bigger. Klotz 22, gonna be handling that hero for you. On the side of Rebeldes, the Mexican soap opera band, as far as I know, the end is near, will be standing in or playing for the team very regularly. He was their drafter. On the Lion, could be a bit of an engagement here, as actually we are going to see them try to go on Dead. I'm going to try to get through this quickly. Wait and Bleed on the Bristleback. Lovejoy on the Tidehunter in the off lane. We do have Enigma. That's not... Cat will be playing your Enigma. There we go. And Storm Spirit, last but not least, played by CYS, the mid laner extraordinaire. Now, VSW did go around and harass Enigma a bit. They haven't blocked too much of his jungle off. In fact, they only blocked this one camp with the ward and the rune. The end is near will realize it now, so he can't actually pull through. He's going to be forced to stack right now. VSW, though, is just sitting in the jungle. He hasn't even skilled anything up, and he has boots first, so he doesn't really need the gold from the lane. He'll try to grab a last hit or two. He actually will get one, and that was on the big creep, so this is pretty big. But, unfortunately, that last hit is not worth your life, buddy. A neutral creep finishes him off, and... it's more frustrating for the Enigma than anything, because they're getting nothing out of this. And when Disruptor already has his boots, it's a very nice start for him. Maybe 1-0, but Rebeldes have not secured the first blood kill just yet. And Klotz on the top lane, farming relatively well. Did pick up a Quelling Blade, a Stout Shield, and a Magic Stick. I think he believed he was against Bristleback in the lane, but Tidehunter still, you're going to get a lot out of that Magic Stick. And when Tide showed his face spot, they weren't too sure on that. I do like this setup from them, though. They have what is basically going to be a roaming Lion, who is going to be taking care of both solo laners, and Enigma really farming the jungle pretty hard to get lots of farm. Get a quick mech, a quick blink, what have you. And then Storm Spirit here to deal the damage, which his build is going to be very interesting. This mid lane matchup should go pretty even. I'd give Tinker a slight edge, depending on how much the Bottle Crow comes out, but Storm should get more farm out of it. He is going with what is a standard build right now, 202 in the early game, then you max your stun, then you go get those solo kills, rather than the previous 1-3-1 build, which was good. It just wasn't as effective. And actually, Ned will get hit with a spike here. Lion with his high base damage is going to get a lot of this double damage rune. It'll be reflected back at him briefly with a spike carapace. CYS will be on the Storm Spirit here mid lane, which I just mentioned. Oops. He'll be getting his bottle back pretty soon, hopefully. Yeah, it's on the way. The Summit Dusky, the Husky, covering everything. On the side of CNB, though, I feel like we've got slightly better mid-game points. They have really good pickoff potential. With the relocate from the Wisp and the Tiny, the Tinker, who's not going to be able to be touched while he's farming the lane if he plays his cards right. And, of course, the threat of a Nyx. The Nyx doesn't even have to be there. Just the fact that, oh crap, Nyx is not on the map. He might have just used his ult, guys. Everybody run. That's what we're afraid of from the Nyx Assassin right now. So, it'll be very interesting. Lion now with the smoke up as well. He's looking to make some rotations around the map, possibly gank the Tinker out. There were some spirits thrown off by Alamal in the top lane. Klotz isn't under too much harass here, and since Alamal doesn't have a bottle, I'm assuming that's why we haven't seen a point in overcharge yet to siphon off the mana and health, like I believe you normally would. Now, Tinker is going to find himself a bounty rune. It looks like Storm is actually going to get a haste rune bot. May look to make something happen with this. They are going to rotate it on Nyx, who hasn't seen a thing here. The haste coming up. There's your Hex. Storm doesn't have any lockdown, but might not need it. There's a bit of a stun from the Spike Carapace, but it's not going to be enough. First Blood going over to Wait and Bleed with the Cruel Spray. He could actually go for something like Hand of Midas. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case here, though. He did just spend about 600 gold. Oh, it's just going to be boots right away? No, it's a bottle. Never mind. And the courier, well, he's going to be earning his keep here on the team as, well, he's stacked with stuff. Let's just put it that way. We do have Bristleback picking up treads off that as well. I mean, he's getting excellent farm here, 28 and 11. Not quite to the level of Klotz, but he is zoning out the offlaner a lot better, and Rebelda's being able to find that early kill will help them out a lot as well. Disruptor, though, excuse me, up in the top lane, getting a little XP for the pulls, only level 3 right now. Enigma, of course, is going to be a much higher level at level 5. Lion is sitting level 3 as well, just hit that, even though he was part of the first blood kill. So actually, Disruptor's doing very well in terms of XP, and of course, Io and Tiny are mostly occupying the lane. They're going to be sitting level 5 on Tiny, level 4 on the Wisp, and they actually have a stack ready to go, and if there's ever a pair that were made to farm a stack, it's Tiny Wisp. I mean, Spirits plus Avalanche Toss, it's pretty insane. Now, Ned is going to get a couple hits off here. I'm getting a little bit of a lag spike, and I'm sorry about that. Of course, I'm at home for the spring break. Yes, that's what this thing's called. So, yeah. Storm Spirit now obviously has hit level 6, and he's showing off with this Regen Rune here. Just having himself a bit of fun. You can't really blame him for that, of course, but goodness, my volume is a bit loud here.
Whoa, what'd I miss? Over here now.
Anyways, Bristleback actually finding a kill on Nyx as I was typing to chat. I'm very sorry about that. But a 7-minute Hand of Midas coming up on Tiny after Boots and Magic Stick and those farming tools of Quelling Blade and Stalsha. This is actually really good. Going to be a great start for him. CYS could be in a bit of trouble here. Disruptor, he does have Glimpse, and he will glimpse him back now. There's a Zip Away, though, available. And I think he's got enough to live through this. But it will at least zone him off the lane. Force him to use a few of those precious bottle charges and whatnot as well. Storm is going to be, of course, bottle crowing in just a moment. After he gets his courier, and I do apologize for this. I'm going to try to see if I can fix the frame rate just a little bit. No, that's not going to be it. This one. And see if I can close out a couple tabs here to help me out. Meanwhile, up top, we actually have a fight going on. Kinetic Field and a Enigma Midnight Pulse, excuse me, used to take down Kloss there. Was trying to sort out the lag and, well, almost missed a kill because of it.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yep, and of course we don't have quality options just yet, guys, because we just don't have enough viewers yet. We're looking at keeping our numbers up the next couple of weeks and then applying for partnerships. So if you could follow the channel, come out when we stream, we can work toward that quality option and therefore make sure we're partnered with Twitch and giving you guys the best content possible. As well as we will earn money from ads on Twitch, which will help us out a ton. We'll get better casters, maybe. We're not replacing me by any means, let's be honest here. But we'll get better overlays, better transitions, more production value stuff, bigger games, etc. So you hitting that follow button and coming out to watch really helps a lot. So yeah, that would be very helpful if you guys don't mind doing that. And it doesn't cost much of your time just to hang out around the stream. And hey, it's pretty interesting if I say so myself. Of course, I'm a little biased. There is going to be a couple more stacks coming out, and it's actually for the Tinker over here to get him his quick boots of travel. And these are going to be very quick boots of travel, as he's practically got them at the 10-minute mark. A decent timing. It's not going to be the best ever, but it will get the job done, and I think that's the most important thing here for Tinker early on in the game. Tiny, he has got a Helm of Iron Will. Okay, this could be Armlet Tiny. It's possible. I don't particularly like it this game, simply because there's a bit of damage over time, a lot of lockdown. Not the kind of situation you want to get Armlet in if you can help it, but actually VSW is going to get picked off right here, and he is, yeah, he's dead. But an avalanche coming through. Wisp is nearby. There's your black hole out on a couple. It actually cancels, thanks to Klotz, I believe, who tossed him. Lovejoy pops the Ravage. There's a double kill for CYS, though. Black hole expended. They do finally lose Enigma, and that's actually the first kill going over to CNB. Nice two-man Earth Spike on Ned and Seuss there. Bristleback coming out of Invis right now. He'll move in. Seuss in a bit of trouble. They've kind of find Lovejoy. Can they find one more? Wait and bleed. Trying to get an extra Quill Spray stack off here. He'll actually take down Klotz. He'll take down Ned. A double kill for him, and now he's going to go straight after VSW. It's a bloodbath in the early game. 9-2. Rebeldes looking great coming out here. But Tinker, he's back for revenge. He's found his boots of travel, and he's found the way to rock it out. But Wait and Bleed in a little bit of trouble. There's a relocate coming in as well. Alamau going to tether Tinker up, but I'm not sure they can chase this one down. They're going to go after the line instead. Bristleback will live to fight another day. And there's the laser to, well, lays him on down. And, hey, Tinker didn't even have to rearm. He didn't even have to wait for boots of travel there. He just heads on back to base with the Wisp. Why not? There is a triple stack here for Rebeldes now, and either Tide or Bristleback will be able to farm that. And I believe here, if they can get it, it's close, and it's going to be a quad, right? Okay, how did that not spawn? I'm not too educated on the ancient spawn boxes. I'm assuming it's like right here is the cutoff. I'm not sure. But Rebelda is definitely starting off very strong at the moment here. Now Ned did just grab a CP or something on the courier. That was actually VSW's, just kidding. Problem now for Klotz becomes Suits is kind of invading his space. This could just be a casual Helm of Iron Will, not a Helm of the Dominator, keep in mind. I don't think he's going to be going for that, to be honest. I think he wants to build something a little more attack speed focused, or he's going to go for the Blink Dagger like we normally see. So I do think this is going to be an armlet. I don't really see much of the point at the moment, but it could happen. Tied though with the 12-minute blink, and well, he's doing very well for himself at the moment. And he actually will have Ravage up again. No points in Gust just yet, but he's gone for a very farm-oriented build to get himself that quick Blink Dagger. And Ned appears to be looking for a kill here. Once again, guys, a big shout out for all of you guys coming out. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that follow button. And check out our YouTube. I just did those commands now, so now that you're hearing my voice 2 minutes ago in the chat, they were posted. If not, you can ask a mod. They'll get them up for you. Don't worry. Meanwhile, a smoke up from their dire team. They're going to head toward the top lane. And there's no one there to gank. The smoke from the Radiant team. They're going to head to the bot lane. And, well, now there's someone there to gank. And he just TP's in, but he blinks away immediately, which proves he's already got the Blink Dagger. And this is where you have to be very careful. But there's a zip in from CYS. Can he get the stun off in time? He will. He's missing all his right clicks, but that's okay. He will probably go down here. Yep, Wait and Bleed on a mega kill streak now. Ned TPing in. He actually gets the Carapace off in time. He's invis here under the safety of his own tower. 2 more TPs in. There's already a black hole going down. Impale gonna connect their finger onto the Tiny. They just set a trap and waited, but the Impale was very nice. There's actually a Ravage that completely whiffs. Wisp's ulti saving Tiny from harm at the moment. And actually just gonna, well, send him back to the tower a bit there. Very nicely played by the Wisp. Just a relocate in and, well, a way back out. To be completely honest, as it goes 2-2, I believe this is going to favor CNB slightly more, and as you can see, it does. A lot more XP, though, and Wisp is getting 1,500 XP and a good 500 gold off of that. That will secure him an earn, as well as all the way to level 9. This is really huge for the Wisp. He's already got his 6, so that's the really important level. But I feel like the extra levels, getting you the extra damage reduction, assuming it does that. Yes, it is extra damage reduction and extra attack speed on your overcharge, and the extra damage on your spirits is pretty big. So those will help out quite a bit. We do have Ned roaming around the top lane. He's looking for CYS, and he's pretty much found him. He actually doesn't need the damage from the Vendetta. He's just going to use an Impale and a Mana Burn to finish the job, sitting on 877 gold. I would assume we might see something like Blink Dagger, although with this team's reach, you may not need it. You could just go straight for Dagon, but Blink Dagger being the safer option, of course. Tinker picking up the kill there. We do have CYS sitting on an Orchid, or, excuse me, Oblivion Staff, not an Orchid, just yet, but he's working toward that, or Refresher for Storm, which I highly doubt.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Bristleback, though, destroying a tower up top, mid. It was mid. And, tower's actually going the way of no one. They're completely even at the moment. Looking good. Double damage actually on the Disruptor right now. They're looking for a good pickup, but Tide, he'll deward this because he knows something's up right now. Someone messing with the stacks as he's working toward, I believe, Force Staff right away here, which will be pretty good for him. It'll give him extra mobility, a way to possibly get away from Disruptor Glimpse if Disruptor doesn't time it perfectly. Of course, you can't Force Staff out of that kinetic field. Unfortunately for him, though, this is a Nyx assassin. He's coming to get him, and he knows because wards. Nyx actually goes for those mana boots first. Didn't realize he didn't have those yet. Meanwhile, though, on the bot lane, we actually had a Death of the Wisp.
Radiant's top tower is under
Okay, I saw 4 heroes jumping on someone, and I assumed it wasn't Wisp, because usually you don't need that many heroes to kill him off. Unless your Eternal Envy shots fired.
Dire's bottom tower is under
On the top lane there, Klotz trying to push the tower down. He did, okay, he went for a Helm. Interesting.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
I'm quite a bit confused here. They actually glimpse back the Bristleback and keep him outside of that kinetic field, making him walk around it, which actually can be more of a hazard than it's worth. Zeus, though, getting hit with the Earth Spike. He's going to be going down right now. They do lay down the Disruptor ulti to pick off CYS, though, so a decent trade. Both down for about a minute. Wait and bleed on the run. Not quite going to find it, though. He's got his Sanjay Yasha and his Vanguard up at 18 minutes. A pretty great timing, nonetheless, seeing as he can transition straight into a, Crimson Guard, yes.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
And there's a Soul Ring coming up for Wisp. This would be very helpful for Tiny, giving him the extra mana that he may need. Although the mana pool isn't going to be big, and he actually goes for the BKB right away. Can't blame him for that, though, against Tide Hunter, Lion, and Storm. There's a lot of control in this lineup, and it's not the kind of lineup you really want to play Tiny against. However, CNB picked it first, knowing they have faith in their combo, and actually he's going to get a ton out of those Enigma Dolans. Clean them all up with an Avatos. That's a trademark of Revo. You can't just steal that. I guess you can. I'm not going to care. Interesting, though, to see him go for the Helm of the Dominator when he's behind like this. I'd honestly imagine him going something more attack speed focused. Mask of Madness would be pretty big here. He could farm the jungle with it pretty efficiently, especially with the Midas. He'd be getting tons of gold per minute with it. Oh, but Nyx, he's invis, sitting around the mid lane. He sees those Enigma Illusions, but since there's 2 of them, he's, you know, something's fishy around here. And, Roche just going to be checked out by the Disruptor. Tinker continuing to be the blinker around the map. He's actually going Yules right now. I'm not really seeing it. Okay, I've seen people suggest Jules on Tinker, but something I mentioned on my stream when this was being talked about, I want to say it was even this stream, possibly. Tinker with Yules, it doesn't really take advantage of the cooldowns. It can maybe buy you some time to rearm and TP out, but eventually it is something to end up selling, to be honest. You're going to need something other than that, and I'm really surprised he went for the regen parts first instead of the extra int, simply because, well, first of all, it looks like it might be a Dagon, and the enemy team might get scared of it. Fear factor, you know. Second of all, you don't really need the regen as Tinker. You have enough mana, you do your combo, you rearm, you head home. Especially with Soul Ring, if you abuse that long enough, well, you definitely can do something there. Mimo on the bot lane. They have spotted out Nyx here. He's actually going to jump on Lion, and he's already dead. There's a Malefice coming in. Relocate from the Wisp. Is there enough though? Cat. He lays down the Midnight Pulse. It's a 3-man black hole. CYS picking one up. Nice lay down of the kinetic field and the static storm there from the Disruptor. Unfortunately, Colossal, this BKB, he'll TP out. His 10-second charge actually just used defensively. VSW could fall in return here though. And it's going to be a 3-for-2 trade, but they did force Enigma to use Black Hole there, and still managed to pick him and the Lion off. It's a pretty decent team fight for CNB, considering Tiny made it out with his life and a bit of gold. Tinker making it out with his life and a bit of gold as well, as picking that Yule's Scepter, which I don't really see the use for, I'll be honest, but has potential, of course. You could use the Yules to set up Martial Machines under someone, I guess. Although, I'll be honest, he doesn't seem that smart. He actually put a second point into rearm already, and I don't think he has quite enough of a mana pool to do that. Maybe with the extra regen from the Yules, he's worked it out to where he can do it. But as you can see, that takes a significant chunk away from his mana that he's not going to be using. And he's basically taking all Tiny's farm up here. And Ned, well, you're at the bottom of the food chain, buddy. He is going to be going straight for that Dagon. I do like this, simply because the burst damage on their team is high already with the Tinker. Now, Ned is looking for something up here, but he can't approach the tower, of course, since this tower is still standing right there. And Enigma would obviously see him, but he's patient. He's willing to wait here. He's like the guy first in line for the new Call of Duty game. Well, he's smarter than that because he's playing Dota. Shots fired. Tinker actually taking down the Enigma.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Tiny actually with the point booster pickup, so he actually is going to go for Ags, the core item on Tiny, and he'll finally pick it up. I am shocked to say the least that Klotz is not using Helm to stack camps right now, especially the Ancients. Once you have a Scepter on Tiny, I think you're going to be fine. Simply because, well, you cleave for 50% of your damage. You can definitely clear some Ancients that way. And what better way to clear Ancients than if they're already stacked up and you can do it very efficiently like that? I'm not trying to flame Kloss. I love the guy. He's a great guy, but why you no stack? Now, CYS is going to be in a bit of trouble. The stun's coming through now. Mana burn as well. They will get the avalanche off just in time to stop him. He was about to get away there, but it wasn't quite enough. He does have his Orchid up and is moving into a Bloodstone right now, it appears. But it's not going to be quite as much. Disruptor actually going straight for Scepter as well in case the enemy team's building BKBs. As you can see, there is one up on Wait and Bleed who's very farmed at the moment. But unfortunately, he will be taken down, possibly. Suits under a lot of fire, and Bristleback, he hits like a truck right now. Purging off that slow and the armor reduction will mean Bristleback has to stack up those stacks once again. What else are you going to do with stacks anyway? Toss coming out to Wait and Bleed, but it's not going to be enough. He will manage to survive down here on the bot lane right now. And while that's good, they only really invested a Disruptor Static Storm into it, so it's not quite enough to take them down just yet. Let's take a quick look at net worth, since I have put that up way later than I should have. Apologies there. Klotz is sitting right at the top, but this Midas is paying off very nicely for him, and is very, I would even say, non-greedy build. It's not a Klotz build, that's for sure. Klotz is known for his greedy playstyle, and looks like at least this game, CNB have weeded that out of him. Maybe they've convinced him, hey, if we give you Tiny, and we have a Wisp with you, will you not play greedy? And he says, okay, I guess I can stop playing greedy for one game. You have Tinker sitting up at 3rd, but Bristleback is quite farmed. The problem with Bristleback is, in the late game, I don't feel like he is as great of a core as he's made out to be sometimes, especially if he's in the 1 position. Mid game, he is king. He is a god among men, basically. And with the bonus damage stacking up from Warpath, well, he'll get lots of damage. The problem is, in the late game, I have a feeling he's going to be kited. He'll be disabled by the Tiny. And Tiny, frankly, will be tanky enough that he won't care. Now that he's picked up a 25-minute Ags, not the most respectable timing in itself, but when you could realize that he's got a BKB and a Helm of the Dominator, this tube of lipstick he's carrying around, well, it's not just for makeup purposes. That's what I'm saying, you know. Meanwhile, though, in the Roche Pit, we do have a bit of a defense going on here. They know something's up. I'm not sure they're going to try to do much about it. They do have a Wisp relocate, but the Wisp and Tiny are not together at the moment. Let me just turn off assisted camera here. Nyx, though, he's hanging around. Now, there is a Sentry Ward up here, so they should see him coming. And it actually was a 4-step, not a Dagon, going for the Nyx, so a little interesting. They do put the Aegis on CYS, which is to be expected at this point. And Wisp now sitting on a Bracer, I'm assuming for the value, to stay alive a bit better. There's a level 2 Dagon coming up on the Tinker, though. Nyx, though, getting caught out, will actually get taken down under the Sentry Ward of no one. He actually just showed his face and then got taken down. There's the Aegis gone from the Storm Spirit, and Cat in a bit of trouble. He's got a Black Hole, but he's not going to be able to use it, seeing as he's already gone down. Storm Spirit moving forward now, and he'll be getting away. So, a good pickoff for Rebelda. CNB still looking to get back into this game. There's a way to do it, though. Taking down the Enigma with your newfound Dagon, Tinka. The pew 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 pew. Yep, that's all I had in the tank. After the pew pew pew, I'm like, okay, I'm done here. Cast is over. GG. We'll just watch now. No. Wisp is still, well, trying to farm and doing okay at it, but he has picked up another value Bracer, which I find very interesting. Ned's scouting his own jungle. This is a nice move by the Nyx, just to go ahead and protect the farming area of not only, well, what would be the Tiny, but the Tinker and the Wisp as well. They're looking for bigger and better things here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Wisp go for something like a drum, since he's always near the Tiny anyway. Hey, more attack speed for him, right? And again, my apologies for the lag since I am at home. There's a bit of latency to the South American service. Yes. Bounty Rune picked up for Storm Spirit. There is a lot of latency right now. Wait, will it not tell me my ping? Okay, it only does that for players, apparently. I want to check with the console, but I guess it's not worth it. I don't know why we don't have quality options right now. If someone could maybe contact Twitch and say, hey, there's no quality options on this channel, we really need them. And there's a lot of them, you know, a lot of people here. But we shall see. You know, up top, Storm in a bit of trouble. He's sitting on 250 health. Kloss does not have a Blink Dagger to close that distance, though. And actually, he's going to meet up with the Wisp. The lag is getting pretty unreal here. Or is it just too real? Can I fix it any other way here? Let me see. It's not too bad, though. It's still castable. I'm just trying to make the experience better for all the viewers. Tidehunter actually going to find Tinker. They'll pop a Ravage on him. The end is near, coming through with the finger. And, well, more like the end is here, if you ask me. Ned, though, he's hiding in the trees over here. I don't think they've spotted him. He actually will TP out right now. Little unfortunate that Tinker is getting picked off this easily. But it's showing that Storm Spirit, he's definitely the right pick here. And since he's going for the Bloodstone, he'll have a good-sized mana pool. But without increasing his int, that means he's not giving Nyx extra damage. That, hey guys, I'm farming more int. That's great, Storm. But guess what? They have Nyx. And actually, we're going to see Disruptor get jumped on. Silenced up. He's dead as they come, buddy. Tidehunter, going to find the kill here. Now for CNB, you can't say this game's over yet. They definitely have rat potential. Their rat quotient is very high right now with the Wisp and the Tiny. They can get to the racks, they can take the racks, they can do it all. And Tiny looks to be going straight for either E-Blade or Butterfly here. I'm hoping it's Butterfly. Klotz will BKB though. And yeah, he's had to use his BKB mostly defensively. In fact, both charges have been defensively so far. Little interesting, but not too interesting. And Alamau still hanging out with him. They're not too worried about the spot racks, and I'll tell you why for sure. Oh, zip away from the Storm. He'll zip back in. Look for the Tinker. He'll stun him up. We got an Earth Spike and a Silence coming through, as well as a Hex. Tinker, well, he's dead. Yep, the Soul Baron gonna get him. But a TP back in. The end is near. He's dead. I don't know where he went there. He kind of vanished for a second, flew off my screen, and yeah, but his corpse hit the ground, and that's what matters. What goes up must come down, ladies and gents. Oh, you need about 150 to 175 viewers. Guys, I cannot stream Pain vs. Isrus, unfortunately, because the organizer of that tournament, to be completely honest, screwed me over and said, well, these other casters must be used for this, when I found out from the people he was referring to that that was not the case. Otherwise, I would be casting that right now because we would be covering the entire tournament. That's over on Hitbox Hefla TV. Hefla is not the person in question here. Hefla's a great guy. I'm not trying to flame him or anything. It's just the organizers of that tournament. But in no salt here. We're here for CNB Rebeldes. Of course, you guys can keep both streams open, and we would very much appreciate that. Just wanted to explain that because I had a couple people asking, well, where is Pain Isrus? I wish I was casting that. But Lovejoy is going to get caught out on the top lane. His Kraken Shell will save him. And there's a TP coming in for Tinker that, well, it's going to be no more. There's a Relocate coming in as well. Blink away from Lovejoy, and this is a waste from the Wisp. A Wisp of waste, if you will. But Wait and Bleed. Well, he's going to be waiting. Wisp will actually scout him out with Spirits. And he is out of mana. 100%. Wisp will take Nyx back with him, though. Unfortunately, though, they know Klotz is not looking for it. The fake Ravage coming out from Lovejoy, and I'm assuming right now he wished he did Ravage, because he might have lived there, but oh, glimpse back on Wait and Bleed. He will go after the Courier for a moment, but then realize it's not worth it. And Tiny, reduced to fish. Not a fossil, yes, just fish. And Storm actually coming in. He might pick off Ned here. He's got the Soul Burn on him. I think that'll be enough to at least get him very low. Okay, maybe not very low, but Storm actually going down. He does have that Bloodstone up now, but that was his first fight with the Bloodstone. It's gonna die, and that means low charges for him at the moment. Meanwhile, though, Cat getting a glimpse back. He's dead. He's dead now. Yep. Rip. We do have smoke coming out from Lion right now. He actually has his Blink Dagger up 33 minutes in. Of course, with the team getting this good of a start, it's not really that surprising. I'm just an unobservant caster, and I'm bad. Thanks for watching. Dagon level 4 picked up for Tinker. Wow. Quite a lot of burst damage. I'm still unsure about this Yule's pickup. I haven't seen it save him life. Save him life. I haven't seen it save his life yet. I haven't seen it secure him a kill yet. It could interrupt the Enigma's black hole. The problem being that, well, you could just kill Enigma if you had Dagon 5 E-Blade at this point. Wait, there isn't a stream for Pain? Well, that's not good.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, there's no stream. Okay, that is strange as can be. No, there's none. Okay. Actually, guys, I'm not sure that game is actually going to be going on. I can check real quick for you. Battle of Central Europe, South America, South America. Yeah. Because you're looking for the South American Challenge, which is different than any of these here. Maybe it's... There, this is it. The game is not actually live, guys, so calm down with pain. It's not live. Glad we took care of that for you guys. I don't know why their Shadow Shaman Ward sounds keep coming up. I can't answer that for you.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
There's no Dota TV though, which means the game is just listed wrong on Joindota. Which, I mean, as much as I love those tournament organizers from the South American Challenge, they clearly haven't done their work right. Anyways, enough flames. Back to the game. We are actually seeing a full butterfly down on Klotz now, and, well, quite the makings of an AC as well. Wisp is working to catch up with him. I believe since Rebeldes don't see the Wisp with him, they're looking to possibly threaten a Rax. However, we will see a TP back from the Bristleback. Better safe than sorry. They do already have an AC of their own, so the physical damage is going to be amplified quite nicely coming out from Bristleback, as well as the Storm Spirit. He does deal quite a bit of physical damage as well. Ned, though, finding Cat here. And they're going to look for something to relocate. Coming in, Cat. Oh, you're not in a great place, buddy. He is working on that BKB, but it's not coming along too nicely as Klotz is now dominating the gold and XP, sitting relatively even, but a little bit in favor of CNB for the gold at least. They actually took Klotz back. Ravage going to come out. This could be a big pickoff for Rebeldes right now. They'll take down Lovejoy. They're looking for Ned, or they'll take down VSW, excuse me. Looking for Ned right now. The gym will actually drop to the ground. A very costly kill for them.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Especially considering that Tiny and Wisp, it actually wasn't a mistake to send him back because they're going to force out a glyph and take a tower. There's no glyph available for 5 minutes now for Rebeldes, and, well, without a black hole up and without a bristleback, this Rax is looking mighty tasty. And one thing I know for sure is you do not, under any circumstances, attempt to base race a Tiny. You don't do it. It's not a good idea. But Enigma coming in, they could commit a black hole and finish him off here. But Enigma, he went the wrong way. He walked away. Tiny is going to be able to run away. But they take a full Rax in exchange. You can't base race the Tiny, but if you can convince the Tiny that he's got to get out of there, that's where you win. Especially when there was a buyback from Ned as well there. And without Tinker really standing here spamming out March, it's pretty easy to push into CNB's high ground. So... Of course, that was a godlike spree for the Bristleback. I said a god among men, and apparently I was not joking. I was joking, for the record. I do not think Bristleback is actually a deity. Lower your pitchforks of blasphemy, please. Disruptor, though, now with an Aghanim Scepter. This is actually really big for him. Storm Spirit is working toward a BKB, but it could be that by the time he gets it, he could be, well, out of luck. They are going to find Ned, though, alone. This gym that he gave up last fight is going to be paying off very nicely. Roshan does fall to the Dire, and Tiny gets the Aegis. CYS, very nice effort. He actually dropped the TB very quickly. Unfortunately, Klotz will BKB up. He'll take him down. Jim on the ground now. And, well, they might reclaim it just in time. Wait and Bleed coming in. Lovejoy, he doesn't have a Ravage for 8 seconds, but he does have a Refresher. Where is he? He actually went backwards. I think he got glimpsed. Klotz is going to go down. They'll have the Ravage up and a Refresh. They've got double Ravage to take down Klotz with this. Now, Klotz will have buyback, assuming he doesn't spend his gold. They'll actually spend the Black Hole, But unfortunately, Seuss coming in here. There's a buyback from the Wisp to possibly get him out. He tried to refresh, but he was dead before the ship even sank. He was unable to, and what looked like a 5-man wipe going the way of Rebeldes will instead turn on them. And CNB will take the 5-man wipe instead with a buyback from the Wisp that is definitely paying off right now. If you're a CNB fan, you're probably on your feet for this at home, or at least sitting straight up in your chair, very attentive. You know, if you're not willing to stand up right now. Anyways. Quite a fight coming out of that. I didn't get a chance to check the fight recap, of course. CNB definitely holding on to this game. You can see, this was probably about the middle of the fight where Rebeldes were like, yes, we've done it. Tiny's on the ground. We've got Double Ravage. We've got Black Hole. In all honesty, what could go wrong? And then Tinker comes out of nowhere with the Dagon, takes down the Enigma, and just completely wrecks him. Meanwhile, Tiny, with the Satanic up, actually. That is scary. This guy hits for, well, 425, and if he's got Satanic on, it's even more. And actually, Cloth they didn't actually relocate out, they just backed up a little bit. They'll take down Alamau, but Wait and Bleed, looking for more. CYS coming in. There's your ulti coming out from Disruptor, and CYS, no BKB to save him there. He's down 4 seconds, or 4 charges, excuse me, on the BKB. Now, Cloth gets stunned up here. Very nicely done by him, but it looks like Bristleback will be brought back to him very nicely. Yule's just going to buy Tinker a little bit of time here. Same with the Tiny. It can set up that Avalanche Toss combo, and Tiny doesn't really need a blink to do it. It looks like CNB will be taking game number 1, if they're lucky here. Lovejoy with at least a Gush out. They're going to annoy Tiny a bit, but I don't know that it's going to be enough. And Nyx never did go for that Dagon, it turns out. Doesn't look like they'll be able to do it. Tiny hasn't even popped the Satanic yet. He can just walk into the jungle, which I imagine is what he's going to do, and just say, Satanic, kill creep. Yeah. Yeah, 3 or 4 swings and he's done. He's good to go. Keep in mind, this Butterfly is not only giving him 60 attack speed, but 30 damage as well, and 35% evasion, and a heck of a lot of armor. He's actually at 36 armor right now, but hold that thought. CYS coming in. I believe he got Craggied right there. He will silence him up at a 3-man, 2-man impale. And an Enigma could be a man, or an Edolan, excuse me. And Enigma is down. He does have buyback, but CYS getting caught in the static storm. Storm in the storm. It's Stormception over here, as another Rax could fall for CNB. In what looked like the game-ending team fight, they turn it around, and they turn this game on its head and say, no, no, no. Straight to the bottom with your net worth. Straight to the bottom with your XP, boys. As it could be yet another 5-man wipe, even though Bristleback is about to respawn right now. The third Tier 3 tower going down. The Glyph coming out in desperation, but they were fully willing to back up right now and just sit down. Meanwhile, tower's going down. We do see Disruptor fall in the back end of the fight, but I feel like Tiny, well, he doesn't frankly care. He could not take the Rax. They actually have a Black Hole available, but they're not going to use it to save the Rax. Bot melee Rax are going to fall. The Dire, well, they got the big creeps, the big boys in the party now. And before Enigma can do anything, this is the fear from him. With Suits on the back lines with this Dagon, anytime Enigma's like, I've got it, guys, 5-man Black Hole. It was a beautiful Black Hole in that team fight, but it just wasn't enough to stop it. They actually will use 1 Ravage. They have a second, and they'll use that as well. They're trying desperately to bring down Klotz. They could still win this game, but Klotz, they'll get the Hex onto the Storm. It's godlike, and Tidehunter disconnected from the game. GG gonna be called, of course. As we go on over to game number 3, can we unpause the game, please? The throne must explode, of course. And Klotz showing a lot there, and duty calls for Just Blaze. He's got to go Just Blaze, of course. Old man Klotz indeed, though. I have to say, as a player or a caster who's watched Klotz for quite a while, this is not indicative of his playstyle. Usually he is very greedy, very ahead of the game, and well, what started off as a great game for Rebeldes turned on its head. A beautiful team fight from CNB, and just a great buyback from the Wisp and perfect positioning from the Tinker. Turned out to win them the game, and they're going to be going into the rest of this series with the 1-0 league. Look at that Enigma, though. He's got all the money. All the money for his team. The rest of them disconnected. But we will see next game coming up. Of course, I'm SB Revolution 5 at Truesight TV. Find us on Twitter under those names. Find us on Facebook at Truesight TV, at SB Revolution 5 Dota. We really appreciate the support. Don't forget to follow the channel, guys, and we'll be right back.